You are listening to 100.9 FM KWTN, the Big Voice Radio. This is the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Coach Q, along my side here with my big brother Buff. What up? What up?
Beth looking me off again. There, I'm here. What's good, everybody?
Yeah. Hey, Buff, we got a good show tonight. You know, this past weekend, our Winnebago boys baseball team, they brought back a championship. I should say we had a home game, and they brought a championship back home here to Winnebago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's as far as back as I can remember, it's the first time that we ever got any kind of championship for baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, back in the day. Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
been a while.
It's been a while. You know. We got a couple special guests tonight. Tonight we have two of the coaches from that 12 and under Broncos team, Coach Kenyon Snyder. What up?
What's up, guys? What's up?
And then we also got Coach Max Littlewalker going to be stepping on the mic here in a few minutes. Also, we got a couple of the players here as well. Young man who played his heart out and got the player of the game of that championship game, Mr. Arian Marufa, is here with us today.
What's up?
Hey, grandson. And then we also got Mr. O.C. Earth is going to be joining us here pretty soon. And also the catcher, Adrian LaPointe, is going to be joining us here in a little while too. Buff, I was telling you earlier, we kind of watched some of the game that, the other night the Winnebago boys put on a show for the community, man. It was a come from behind win. We actually had to come from behind a couple of times during that game. But man, it was an awesome game.
I wish
man.
I would have made it. I had prior obligations. Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys seen that.
No,
everybody following us.
The viewers, you guys can see that one. That one will probably make ridiculousness right there.
Getting splashy out here.
Hey, yeah. So that was one thing that we were talking about the other night too. After the game, myself and DJ Bestme, we were talking about the Winnebago, or the Big Voice Sports Show. You know, is kind of what we're calling it when we're going on the road to do these games. Mm-hmm. We're making history. You know, we've been making history all years, all season long. You know, not just with the baseball, but when we started doing all this live streaming stuff a couple years ago. You know, every game is put in archives now. You know, all these different games. Remember back in the day, how did we get to watch our games?
Jeez.
If we wanted to watch our games,
we had to record them with the old VHS camcorder.
The one that goes on your shoulder?
Yeah. Set it up somewhere and press record, and we wouldn't, our pops would record, and there was no editing out when he was hollering out a few select words at us.
Yeah. But that was the only way we could watch our games, you know. Then even our high school football and basketball games were recorded from the school, and we had to have a tape player to watch that, you know.
Yep.
And now all these guys got to do is just click it on their phone.
Yep.
Now 1 or 2 clicks and they're watching games. You know, wow, I can't believe that. You know.
Yep.
But it's a good thing because, like I said, you know, our sports shows making history. Yep. And the other night we got that championship and we got to record that, man. And if any of you guys missed it, you want a chance to watch that championship game. It's an awesome game. You can just go to our Facebook, Winnebago, the Big Voice Facebook page, and on YouTube as well. So just go and pull those games up and you can watch them. So later on in the show, last week we talked to Pilar Aldrich. Remember that we talked to Pilar?
Yeah.
You know, on the sports show, we're doing a couple highlights in the next few weeks on some of our former athletes from Winnebago High School, some alumni that went on to play some college sports and went on to get their college degrees, and that came back to the community to serve their people. And I'm going through, and I got about a list of 9 or 10 that I can list for myself, and I'm going to try to get all of them on the sports show to tell us their story.
Cool.
And so last week we heard Pilar's story, man. There was a lot of things that I didn't know.
Same.
And man, I was so happy that she shared those stories with us, you know. And listeners out there, if you guys want to hear some good stories on success through sports, make sure and tune into our next few weeks of the Big Voice Sports Talk Show, and you'll hear some really good stories.
Yep.
So that's what we're gonna talk about a little bit later on when Miss Kelly Warrior gets here. All right, so well, let's get to it then. Buff's gonna watch the rest of the game. Tonight, and we watched a little bit of that final inning, the extra inning we went into. So I got you guys on. I told you that night, hey, we're gonna get on the sports and we're gonna talk about this game. And I want to make sure and give you guys a good highlight because what you guys did was very a very incredible thing to do. Come from behind to win a championship in the baseball, especially because Winnebago's community is relatively new to this sport. It's been around for a while, but then it died for a long time. And now you boys, you coaches are bringing it back. And as long as you guys are giving it the time that it needs from you guys, the passion you guys have from it, as long as you guys are giving it that time, giving these boys that time, this community is going to get better and better at it. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about a little bit later is where do we see baseball going for our community, and do we think we're going to get some scholarships from the athletes? So let's go to the game, guys. Okay, let's Coach, first let's talk about the game the other night. I know that we were down a couple times in the game, and only yourself and the other coaches and the boys know what all goes on in the dugout. All the fans can sit there and look in the dugout, but you guys know what's going on. Can you tell us a little bit about the vibes that were going on in the dugout? Being down by 4 points and 2 points and stuff like that late in the game.
Yeah, towards the ending, these guys were trying to get down, and I just throughout the season they always drop their hands and everything, and I'd get after them. But that night it was different. I was like, guys, it's a championship game. It's for all the marbles. Gotta keep your head, keep playing, fight through it. And they did, dude. It was very exciting. I wasn't even playing, and my heart was beating. I was anxiety, dude.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Marufo here hit a 2-run shot, hit a triple to tie it up. Had the game-winning run, still home. If you didn't catch it, dude, you gotta watch it. It's a good game.
You definitely gotta watch it.
Yep.
We were just talking about, and maybe we can clear this up a little bit. The final inning, of regulation anyway, Winnebago was down by 1 point. We have a runner on third, and I think, was there somebody on first too?
No, it was just third, yep.
Okay, we had a runner on third, batter got up, and I believe we had 2 outs.
Yep, 2 outs, yep.
And I don't know if it was a full count. I'm kind of thinking it was full count, but then the pitcher, right before he pitches the ball, the umpire stops the game, freezes the game, goes out in the middle of the field and calls a balk. Can you elaborate? Because a lot of the fans that were watching, they didn't know what happened. They heard him say balk, but they didn't see what happened. Can you tell us kind of what the pitcher did and what kind of momentum that gave Winnebago?
Yeah, so on a balk, that means you get a free base. So you got to come together, you got to stay set. And if you move your front foot forward, you have to throw it. So he came together, and he moved his foot just a little bit, just a tiny bit. And I called out a balk, and the ump recognized it too, and that was a balk right there. We got a free bag. But the thing was, Kenny stole a 3. He's a big dude, he's don't got the fastest wheels, but
yeah,
he stole a third, critical moment. And then he was kind of irritating the pitcher a little bit. That's why he did that balk.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, getting a little risky because I was telling him to. And
over there,
he came together, and then he moved, and that's a balk. You can't do that. Yeah, but you get a warning too. So that warning earlier in the game was pretty critical.
That was.
It happened earlier in the game.
It happened earlier in the game, and the umpire came out, told the pitcher about what he was doing, and then he went over and told the coach what the pitcher was doing. So they had a coach and the pitcher had a discussion about that little movement forward.
Yep.
And so there was the warning, and so that was huge because
was huge.
If that warning didn't happen, then that warning would have happened.
Yeah.
In that final inning.
And then we would have got that run.
Well, we would have. We would have. Okay. Well, hey, but that's how it was, ladies and gentlemen. The rules of the game, and sometimes, a lot of times, man, it seems like we're the ones that get on the bad end of the stick.
Yep.
But during that time, the officiating was good that night.
Who's behind the plate?
Josh Taylor.
Yep.
Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor was back behind the plate, and so he,
certified and
certified.
everything. Yeah.
He's been certified for a couple of decades now. So it's good to have some experience back behind there.
Yeah, he's a pretty fair guy too, so he was pretty good.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk to, we're gonna talk to Granson right here, Arian Marufo. Okay, Aaron Marufo, you got a couple weeks back, Big Brother Buff here gave you a player, or was it athlete of the week? Athlete of the week, right? And go ahead, Buff. Tell him what you see in him. I mean, because you told us all kinds of stuff, but he's right here now.
Yeah, it got right from me. But I kind of I see just not just with baseball. I'm an old athlete. I can recognize when there's something there with a young athlete coming up or anybody, especially when it comes to basketball. And I don't know how many times I've repeated your name on here. I always called you grandson. I said, everybody got to keep an eye on that kid. And I'm not taking, let me stop myself real quick. I'm not taking it away from anybody else, all these other baseball players that are here and anybody else. But there's something that I seen, because when I watch him play basketball, watch him play baseball, and then all the stuff, I'm just like, kid's gonna be a horse and everything. He's a stud. And then he's just 12 years old, 10, 11 years old, however old he is.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be a stud. So you just got to kind of stay on the right path. I remember I must have seen your mom's Facebook post one time, said something about she might want to try to take you guys back up to Minnesota and stuff like that. I just wanted to shoot her a message and say, delete that post. You keep that kid down here. We need him.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, you can stay here.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, so
there's stuff to do down here.
Yeah,
but at the same time, and then this guy can tell you too, is like as much as like us guys are recognizing game. Mm-hmm. You can never let that go to your head.
Yep.
Never let that go to your head. Think you're better than anybody.
Yep.
Because there's always somebody out there that's working harder than you. Mm-hmm. And then you always want to stay humble. Stay humble with your crafts. Whatever sport you're playing, be humble about it.
Yep.
Don't go around brag around. Say oh I'm the man or anything like that. No. Let your game do your talking.
Let your game do your talking.
Just be quiet about it and let your game do your talking. It's the best advice that any of us can give you. All right, grandson.
Good job.
All right, hey, but I want to run you through that final play. You got that triple. You got that triple. You scored that tying runs and those 2 RBIs. You're sitting there waiting to run. You're going back and forth, waiting to run. You got to tell us about that little play right there and when you scored and how it felt.
So when I saw the pitch get past the catcher, I just remembered that we was down 1, or we was tie game, and if I scored, then we would have won it. So I saw the ball get by him, so I just ran and got safe.
Nice slide too, man. Nice slide too. Yeah. And you got up, and then how did it feel after that? And who was he looking for first?
Hunter, because he's the one. Because when I went up to bat, got the triple, he said just to believe in myself.
Nice.
Oh, Coach Hunter, man, good shout out right there, man. But hey, man, I got to tell you that was an amazing game. I tell you how I felt about it that night. We was all hyped up together, hollering around. You did the post-game interview, which I liked. That was a good one. You got checked out on too. And then, man, it was a good game to watch. And I know that your mom, I saw your dad post that he was really proud of you. You got your whole family proud of you, but man, you got all these people that were at the game proud of you. And anybody who's gonna watch this, the game just ended right there. And then anybody who's watching the game, even on a replay, man, they're gonna see that they come in big that game, and he got the player of the game. So, congratulations again, grandson Marufo, for how you played, and then being a leader at a young age too. That's really good to see, Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the questions that I had for you guys here. You're listening to 100.9 FM, the Big Voice Radio. This is the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. This is Coach Q. And along here is my big brother Buff. We're just finishing watching a short clip of that game we were talking about.
Is that Coach Carn Richard right there? Right here, the blue shirt? Who's this right here? That is Rich?
Yeah, Coach Rich.
He actually jumped in there. I seen some daylight under them feet.
I think that might have just been he was jumping on that chalk line.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now he's running a little bit. What the heck's going on here? Is he here tonight?
No, guess where he's at?
Eating?
Golf league.
Golf league. I seen him swing a softball bat, and he thinks he can swing a golf club now?
I think he actually brings that softball bat to the golf league. Only way he can hit the ball. No, he said he was sorry he couldn't be here, but he just got picked up on a squad, so he's trying it out.
Wow.
All right, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are now joined by Adrian Lapointe and OC Earth. Gonna ask them a couple questions. These are a couple of boys. Adrian played catcher back there for the Winnebago Broncos team, and OC was the shortstop. So
nice.
OC, say what's up.
What's up?
There he is.
Adrian, say what's up.
What's up?
Look at that camera right there. Say what's up.
What's up?
Over there.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
what's
it.
up?
Mascot is all over the place.
Yeah. Hey, I was real proud of you guys the other day. Sitting there, I was thinking back to basketball season all the time with you guys. Like, I'm sitting there proud of you guys during basketball season, and then come baseball season, then you guys come up and win a championship in baseball, and then now I can't wait for football season to get here to come watch you guys, So,
Or swimming.
we're swimming.
Synchronized swimming.
But I want you guys kind of tell me a little bit about like maybe how you felt after winning the championship game. You guys kind of watched the replay just now. OC, go ahead and tell me how you felt and what bringing a championship to Winnebago means to you.
Felt really good. Proud.
You proud?
Good.
Yeah.
How your parents proud of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got a lot of brothers and sisters too. Were they all at the game?
Yeah, most of them were.
Most of them were.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Just good genes runs in when there's family there. Every one of them kids can play too. I mean, all sports.
Yeah.
I mean, all the way from their oldest sisters, hooping in basketball, and all the way on down to these guys. It's fun watching them grow up.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, last time I seen these guys, a little bitty. I don't want to say last time I seen them, but they kind of growing up, and I'm kind of missing a lot of that. Seeing them playing, growing up into these little ball players in all sports. It's kind of cool. Makes me feel really old now.
I know. I was just gonna say that too. When you see these guys get older, when they were just babies not too long ago, it makes you feel like an old man.
Yeah.
But hey, Adrian, the point I'm gonna ask you a question, and the question for you is about pressure. Okay, so being a catcher in a game of baseball, there is a lot of pressure because you're the one that gets the ball thrown to you the most, and so that means the ball. That responsibility of taking care of the ball is yours mostly out of the entire team. That's a lot of pressure on you. Mm-hmm. So I want to just think about this. Dealing with pressure as a catcher, what made you play such a good game catching the ball? How did you stay focused?
Just I don't know, just staying focused whole game.
What did you get any encouragement from your coaches?
Yeah, from Max.
Max, what are some of the things that Max talked to you about?
To block the ball, but I didn't block it at all.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to block if you catch everything, so obviously it looks like you're doing pretty good back there. I just wanted to add what Quint said is that you two in your positions on your team there, those are like two crucial positions. Shortstop's there for a reason. That's where a lot of the batters hit little dribblers. Yeah. So you got a real tough spot there. They usually say you got to put your best player behind the plate because, like Quint said, the balls are all coming in. You get the ball just as much as the pitcher, if not more, and you got to be able to catch, and then block the ball. You're all full of pads. Sometimes you might catch one where it won't hit a pad. Sometimes it kind of, you might mess up, but that's a tough spot, a tough position to play. Yeah. So they got to put your better players, the ones with the better gloves who can catch, good. They got to put them there. So kind of proud of you on there. That's a tough spot to play.
Yeah. Then OC too. OC had played short. There were a couple that got by you a couple of times. And I knew that he was kind of upset about it, but he redeemed himself by when the next one came to scoop it up and get those throws over there.
Yeah.
Because playing short, I mean, that's a spot where the ball comes the most. That's why they put your best glove over there, or one of your best gloves over there too. But yeah, man, it was a good win, man. I'm really proud of you guys, and I know your guys' families are proud of you guys too. So hey, go ahead and you guys both let me know. OC, are you gonna play again next year? And are you eligible for 12 and under again?
Not for 12 and under,
so
but
you'll
ponies.
be ponies next year. What about you?
Nah, same.
You'll be
play
same.
Ponies next year.
Play ponies. Your guys' ponies team is gonna be real good next year.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are gonna have a real good ponies team next year too. So maybe next year we'll hear some noise from you guys in that division too.
Is this the age group that played pony and bronco? That had some players playing both?
Yeah. These guys had to play up a lot too because they only had, I think, three players that were old enough to play
like
14 under. Yeah.
Oh.
And then everybody else is bronco age. So but they got the Remember, you guys used to play ball against the older guys all the time, and then when you guys go play down at your age group and stuff like that, sometimes it seems kind of easy. And that's the way to practice all the time.
Hitting balls that are pitched faster because the older kids are throwing them, and if you guys are getting hits off them, then play against kids your own age, the ball seems like it's going to be slower. So good, that's good. That's how
good practice.
Yep, that's how you guys get good.
Hey, let's go ahead and let's get Coach Max up here. Go ahead and take Adrian's spot. All right, we got coming to the microphone. We got Coach Max Littlewalker. Max Littlewalker was one of the coaches that been in the dugout all year long, and over the conversations I had with some of these young men before, during, and after ball games this year, a lot of them been talking about Coach Max and some of his inspiration that he gives them in the dugout and at practice and stuff like that. So, hey, Coach Max, say hi to the listeners out there.
How's it going?
All right. So, Max, man, I know that you were pretty excited. You were one of the first people to post about the championship right after the game was over. Maybe kind of bring me through a little bit of the end of the game for you, how it ended, and then your excitement, how you felt.
So at the end of the game, I think it was one of the tying runs. I told Kendrick, he came to first base, and I remember he was standing there and he was asking me what he should do. And so I told him, I was like, it might be risky, but I want you to steal second. He was like, are you sure? He's probably going to throw me out, because he knows that he's a little, he's kind of on the slower side out of all of our players. And I was like, I know that, but I was like, it'll kind of shake him up a little bit. He'll be more worried about you stealing than he will be about trying to pitch the ball and strike out the batter.
That's right.
So I sent him, and I told him to slide. I said, make sure you slide no matter what. I was like, because he's going to, the catcher is 100% going to try and gun you out. So that's what he did, but he lobbed it up in the air instead of, and that's what he was doing all game. He was kind of lobbing it.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, make sure you get down, because if you try to take the base standing up, it's faster for them to come here with their glove than it is to go all the way down.
Yep.
So he slid, and his toe perfectly hit the bag, just barely touched the bag. And I was super proud of him for that, because I think, that's one of the few times that he's stolen all year.
Wow.
And so that was a really big moment too.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, I was just super proud of these guys, man. I mean, I remember, I think it was like the second or third inning, I remember they were all coming in kind of hanging their heads, and they were a little irritated because they weren't playing how they knew they could play.
Yeah.
And we've had games where we've, like, just the semifinals game, 22 runs they scored, so they knew these boys know they're good, and when they don't play that way, they get frustrated with themselves.
Yeah. That happens, man. That happens at this
all
age,
athletes,
man.
Yep. All athletes, they know what they can do, and when they don't play up to par, then it's like that with everybody, So I'm glad you guys gathered their heads and thoughts together and got it together for them. So good job.
Yeah, me and Coach Kenyon were talking about that with the boys when they came in. We're like, I mean, all that stuff happened. There ain't nothing you can do about it now.
Yeah.
Like, you can be aggravated about it after the game and like think about what you have to practice on. But right now, there's still a game going on.
Yeah.
We still have to try and get the bats going.
Yeah.
So that's what the boys did. I mean, they all went out there, and they've been, especially these boys right here. I mean, Age, he jumped into a position he never even watched in baseball. He was like, when he first came to practice, I remember him saying that. He was like, I don't even really know what a catcher does.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, most of the time you're going to be catching.
So
that's what they call it.
He got a throw out at second base too early in the game. Remember?
Yep.
He threw somebody stealing out at second base too.
Nice.
Picked him off. That was a good throw too.
Yeah, all these boys have been doing good all year. Each and every one of these boys that's here with us, and even the ones that are on the team. I mean, some of them have taken fastballs to the ribs so that they can walk to the base. Some of them have been hit by the ball as it was coming up to them. Somebody hit it, and it hit him in the chest or something. And a lot of tough boys out here, that's for sure.
Hey, a couple young men that I wish that could come up here too. There's another young man, Drew Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see him today outside of his apartment. I kind of gave him a high five. I said, hey, Drew, come over, give me a high five. He said, what's that for? And I was like, man, that's for you guys' championship the other night, because you guys subbed him in the last couple of innings, man, and he even kind of came around one time and scored too.
Yeah.
So I was real proud of him to get him out there and stuff like that too, because a lot of those younger guys that maybe don't get the shine, you know, or maybe they don't get the hits or something like that. Sometimes, man, it's always good for those guys to get the shine too, and those boys played real good too in those positions in that championship game too. So had to give them a high five. But you know, never take anything away from none of the other boys. I wish all of them can come in here and we sit down with all of them and visit them like this, you know, because each one of them, you know, made everybody so proud that day. And you know, I'm just so happy that it turned out the way it did. You know, and big shout out to Huge and those guys and how Coach Huge and how they had the whole setup out there with the Land of Wellness, man. The crowd was huge. We had a big show for not just, you know, around the bleacher area and stuff like that, but there were people posted up under their canopies and, you know, music going and stuff like that. So it was a real good turnout, man. Land of Wellness really kind of come through for everybody.
It's cool.
Yeah. Yep. So, so I guess one more question, then we're gonna go ahead and move on with this this sports show here. So what's up for next year, you guys? Are you guys gonna come back and coach next year? The same age group? Are you guys gonna work with them?
That's the plan. We're actually trying to get something together right now. Me and Coach Kenny were just talking about having a baseball camp sometime in the spring, get the boys ready, kind of go over some fundamentals that we didn't get to cover. I mean, we covered them in practice and stuff like that, but it's not the same as having it go all week. And we're also going to try and bring in some other people from out of town and try to help them, you know, because, you know, just because we're coaches doesn't mean we know everything.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So we're trying to bring in some more people that might have little, you know, nuanced information about the game that could definitely help our boys.
That sounds like a good idea too, because that was my next question, because I always got to ask those same questions about off seasons. You know, now it's the off season. You know, camps, clinics, different things like that are always good for these guys. And definitely off season training, like, you know, I don't know about these guys on weights right now, but they can do some strength training and stuff. You know, resistance kind of stuff. But that off-season training for that sport is real important too. But I know all these guys are going out for different sport.
Yeah,
they're going out for different sport every season. So, but just to kind of keep baseball, you know, those reps and, you know, the what do you call it, the muscle memory and everything like that about pitching, swinging the bat, and all that kind of stuff. You know, and I say just keep them involved. You know, with the sport.
One thing I asked you and those guys last time was here what they were here, and I can't even remember what he said now, but a pitching machine. Is there a pitching machine around?
They have one out there. They have one. I think they need like a stand or something for it. Mm-hmm. But they are gonna get those batting cages. I think they're trying to get 2 batting cages. They're gonna get another pitching machine, so there's 2 of them. Yeah. And so they can.
But that wasn't operate.
It's operational. They just need to get a stand for it.
Oh, okay. But you guys didn't have that at all this year?
No.
You imagine what these boys, how they'd be hitting if they can get that thing and crank it up and just start taking cuts off the ball coming 60, 65 miles per hour at them. They'd be you know, these regular young boys our age pitching would be like they're lobbing them in there.
Yeah. Then, you know, just as maybe just a hint of something you guys could possibly do. I think like Wayne State has indoor facilities that they can use. I think the United has indoor facilities for baseball that you guys might be able to, like, you know, rent or reserve to use for even just, you know, a couple hours one time a week or something like that, just to get the guys together or something, you know, something like that. You know, there's always something out there. Just, you know, just gotta go out there and look, you know. But that's exactly what I want to try to find out about next year. You know, I hope that you coaches do come back. You know, bring your guys' passion back to the sport. The other coaches with the double coach walkers out there. And then,
speaking of double coach walkers, he just Sean put on there, and I'll let you look at it real quick. What's that mean?
I don't know. That's a
Coach Gugu, he said.
Coach Gugu. All right. Hey,
must be inside joke.
I want to tell you guys thank you for stopping up here and sharing your guys' little experience you guys just now went through. Thank you players for coming up here and, you know, getting on the mic and not being scared to answer a couple of questions, man. You know, I'm sure that in the near future, we'll get you guys on the show for some other things, you know. So thank you guys for all stopping up here and sharing your stories with
And
us.
congratulations, too, boys. Again,
Yep.
you guys did good. Made us all proud.
Yeah, good
All
job,
right.
boys.
You guys are listening to 100.9 on your FM dial. This is KWTN, the Big Voice Radio. This is the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. You are listening to the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. I am your host, Coach Q, along here with my big brother, Buffalo Bass. That's 4 Bs, actually, Buff.
Nice.
Yeah, 4 Bs.
Maybe count them up real quick.
Yep. And then we just got done doing a nice little visit with the 12 and under boys Broncos baseball team from Winnebago that just now won their very first league championship game. Winnebago hosted that game this past Sunday, and the game went to extra innings. I believe DJ Besme played a couple of short clips at the end of that game, which was so exciting. And the boys and the coaches were here to tell their experience on the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. So that was a good one there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Really
I
nice.
wish he was there, bro, because man, it's just the energy and the baseball field was just crazy, man.
I started trying to think, what the heck was I doing on Sunday? Then I remember we played in a couples golf tournament, me and my wife, and we ended up getting second in that one. So
Oh, we're gonna have to do some interviews about that golf tournament.
I don't remember.
You must have not did too well. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are joined by Miss Kelly Warrior. Miss Kelly Warrior, she is a Winnebago alumni. She graduated from this high school here in our community. And me and Buff both actually got an opportunity and an honor to watch her grow up and play all the sports here in Winnebago, and a premier athlete that excelled in all 3 of those sports. But after high school, and when she graduated from Winnebago, she went on to college and played some college hoops, and then did a lot more. And last week we did a little interview with Miss Pilar Aldrich, and we're out here on the sports talk show trying to find and interview some of our locals. And the locals we're looking for now, just for these interviews, are some of our recent graduates, our alumni from Winnebago that went on to play some college sports, and then not only just go play sports, but also get that degree in a good fashion, and then take that degree and then come back home and then work amongst your people and serve the people. And I'm sure that a lot of these young scholar athletes have that same mindset about going off to college and coming back and serving their people. But tonight we have Miss Kelly Warrior here. Miss Kelly Warrior, say hello to the people.
Hello, good evening, everyone. How are you?
Yeah, so I know I spoke with Kelly a little bit earlier today. It was kind of short notice, but I know that now for me it was a good conversation, because she seemed so surprised that I got a hold of her and what I was asking for her, and then she really wanted to do this interview on the radio. So and then just to tell her the reason why I chose her, I know that made her feel really good. Mm-hmm. So first of all, Kelly, I guess me thinking of you in this way, and I told you another small list of other people that had graduated from Winnebago that did the same thing. Went out to play sports, got your degrees, came back, and now you guys are working for your people. And I'm gonna try to get all the people that I can think of that did that from our school here for an interview, and I'm hoping everybody is this game as you are. So let's kind of get it started. My first question, I'm gonna leave it open-ended so you can answer it however long you want, take as long as you want. But when you were in high school, we went to go watch many of your basketball games, and personally myself, I figured if you were gonna go play any college sport, that it would be basketball. Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe take us through a little bit of your mindset when you were in high school, and like as your parents were talking about college, and as you were thinking about college and friends, and everywhere that life was taking you. Kind of what was your plans when you were in high school? What did you think you were going to do?
Well, it took me a long time to decide what I wanted to do for post-secondary education or career-wise. And It wasn't till at the end of April where I finally decided. I was one of those kids that knew they had options but was really scared, really scared for that next step. But thankfully my parents were very influential, and their biggest message was, we want you to be happy and just follow your heart. And I feel like that was a big part of my success. And so I kind of weighed out my options and decided that high school was the best fit for me. I could definitely see myself there. And also, I really wasn't a strong student academically, so I needed a backup plan. I knew that I just didn't want to go home if school didn't work out for me. So I joined the service 7 days after I graduated high school.
Oh, nice, nice. See, when I was visiting earlier, and I was kind of like, I kind of said, well, I know I've been paying attention a little bit. I started saying some things, and then I left out the part about the military, and I'm glad that you brought that up a little bit later in our conversation. So go ahead and tell us about that experience.
I had such a good experience in the Army. I was served in the U.S. Army National Guard for 7 years, and I received an honorable discharge in May of 2020. I was in 88 Mike, and I was stationed in Topeka, Kansas. And I had such a good unit that looked out for me, and we got to do a lot of amazing, cool training. And actually, in this photo that I posted, we actually, of all places, you know, they send you all over the world. They sent us to Pine Ridge. And so we did just hauled a bunch of wood, and we got to stay in Custer State Park. And I was very fortunate to have a good career and a really good unit that looked after me.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm sorry I left that out before, you know.
You're fine.
But yeah, it is one of the big like accomplishments. You know, you see all these these successful people that are either running departments we call tribal leaders or whatever. There's always like a how do you say, like a staircase getting to where they were, you know, and then all these different milestones that you got, you know. I'm looking at yours that I know right now, and they're so cool, you know. All the milestones that you hit, they're so cool. Graduating from high school, and then, you know, get out and graduating from the military, and then going on to play some college basketball too. And go ahead and tell us about that experience down at Haskell.
Oh wow, I had such an amazing experience playing at Haskell. We were very successful as a team, and then I also experienced a lot of individual success. And so my freshman year, we had a losing record. After that, we went to 20 plus wins. After that, 20 plus wins, and we made it to the national tournament. First conference championship winners at Haskell ever.
Oh man, nice.
That was my junior year where I broke 1,000 points. And then I took a year off from basketball and I kept going to school, but I took a year off to enjoy motherhood. Yeah. And then I returned and finished my senior year where I broke the men's and women's scoring record, and the rebounding and I want to say shot blocking record.
I think that's what it was too.
What year was that, Kelly, that you did that?
Your senior year.
No. What year? Like, what was it? 2015 back then, or when did you guys come up here and play in Sioux City?
2015, 2016. I remember seeing y'all.
Yeah, because
right there.
Because when you guys did that, and then that's when it went down that St. Jesus, like the same weekend or the very next weekend, we were all down in Lincoln. That's when our boys went. So I remember there's a lot of basketball being watched.
What a good season of basketball that year.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And then so you had a lot of success. Broke some records down here that are still there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You still say, gee, it hasn't not that long ago. I didn't graduate that long ago. No, that's good though. I mean, just having a record somewhere is already an accomplishment for one person, you know. Then to hold, you know, 3 records at a school that all the natives know, you know. Huh?
I have 5.
5 records?
5 records.
Oh, let's go.
Please don't tell me turnovers are in some Kobe stats.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay, so then basketball was a success, and then graduation comes, and so tell us a little bit about graduation and what your plans were, or if you already kind of had what your plans were all laid out already, or if you were still kind of like,
Yeah. Once again, definitely scared and didn't know, but thankfully through the Army there was a job working for the state of Kansas as a Native Americans veterans representative, where I went around through the state of Kansas and I helped Native veterans find employment.
Oh, okay.
And that was a really interesting phase in my life because I graduated on a Friday, moved to Topeka from Lawrence that Saturday, and I started work on Monday. So it was a transition overnight, and I really wasn't prepared for that, to live in a city by myself as a single mom and try to build a new support system, and that type of lifestyle just wasn't really healthy for me. I didn't fit in that box at all.
Yeah.
And so I think I did that probably for about 9 months, and that's whenever I relocated back home.
Okay.
Or it was a way, way, way better fit for me.
Okay. Well, it sounds like an interesting ride. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it does. And I mean, I guess you probably met a lot of interesting people throughout that whole journey too. You know, even before you got home. You know, a lot of interesting people. Is there anybody out there that maybe helped you along the way? I mean, I know your parents, you know, are good in support system, but anybody out there, you know, when you were away from here, that was a support system for you?
Yeah, definitely. I would say my biggest support system, one of my biggest support system, was my military family. We were really close, and I was actually on a active duty orders on a mission whenever I found out that I was carrying my daughter.
Oh.
And my unit, my military family, was the first one to find out about it. And so it was like, get her safe. She doesn't need to be around ammunition. Like, we need to get her home. Yeah. And I was scared at that moment. And they were like, Warrior, you could do it. You could tell your parents. And I was like, no, I can't. Yeah. but you know, I had, at the time, my commander, Captain Gant, we had drill one weekend, and he ended drill early, so our unit or platoon can come and watch me come to my basketball game. And so they did a lot of things like that, would put things in like the newsletter about me and stuff like that. So they played a significant part. Also the community here played a big part. Yeah. Just people reaching out to me, kids. You know, what was interesting, I automatically think of Charlie Earth. Yeah. You know, she followed me all throughout high school, and once I got to college, she followed me all throughout college. And it feels so good to have such an impact on a kid. And now it's my turn watching her. I went to her state games, I went to her home games down in Fremont, and now she's doing like phenomenal things, being an advocate for the community environment. And so I feel like I'm a fan of hers now.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
That's cool. And that's good. You know, I know it's kind of corny, but me and Buff always say this term, game recognized game. And I know that, like, Charlie Earth, you know, she was a good ball player. You know, you're a good ball player. You guys both kind of fed off each other's vibes and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool. Good example, though. Good example. Besides your, who'd you say was your sergeant? Or your...
Captain Gant.
Captain? Mm-hmm. Besides Captain, is there anybody special you want to give a shout-out to, just in case they listen to this?
Oh, man, there's definitely...
I guess the reason why I'm saying it, because I know that you weren't around your parents all the time, you know, during this whole adventure after high school. And so, like, I'm just kind of like trying to fill in the blanks of like, man, I know that there was somebody there, you know, that your parents are really thankful for and that you're thankful for and stuff like that. Just trying to get some names out there to give some people some props.
Patricia Main, she was there at the Lutheran Indian Ministry. She definitely helped me out in times of struggle. Marisa Spoonhunter, she worked there at Student Services, and she was there helping students getting with like academics and things like that, but we never talked about that. It was more like life struggles and figuring out just how I'm going to move forward and things like that, and motherhood and such. So she was definitely a big one. And also Coach Flanagan, he was definitely a big support. I was pretty rowdy up until I had my daughter. And then after that, he seen just a new light in me. I did a total 180, and he helped just support me. Him and his wife helped support me a lot in just helping me navigate that first year of motherhood and in my daughter's life.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad you got to say a few of those names, and you probably weren't expecting to. But hey, you know, if they follow you on Facebook, they might listen to this and they'll get some shout outs. You know, and I'm real happy about that. Well,
I want to share a story real quick.
Yeah,
I remember a long time ago. Well, you guys know Trav. Her dad, Travis Mallory, he was one of my real close buddies, and grew up together. Well, we all grew up together, but I remember when you and Sammy were little girls, and then he was telling us, he said, "Yeah, bro, we got to try to get Kelly going. We got to get Kelly going, playing sports, playing basketball or volleyball or something, because she's starting to get real taller than everybody. She's starting to sprout." And then I was like, I didn't really just see you guys too often, because you guys are usually kind of under your mom's wing wherever they were at and stuff. But so it's kind of kept you guys, you guys seem like you guys are in the house a lot. So I knew one of the times I seen you come walking out and you had little ribbons or a little something in your hair. You come out with curly hair, and I went, "That's her right there already?" I said, last time I seen you, you guys were little bitty girls about the same size, and then you're almost a whole foot taller than Sammy already. And then pretty soon, then you guys he started getting. Then he used to really talk about you a lot when we'd be doing our little event sessions and stuff. He used to bring your name up a lot, and you got to come watch your play, bro. You got to come watch your play. So that's when we kind of started coming to the gym a lot, and watching you guys play in high school, and you guys started getting older. So that was just a little story that every time when your name's brought up, or if I see any of your Facebook posts, and I always remember that little girl that come running out with tall, skinny, a little bitty. But yeah,
my wife Jessica, she said when she was working at the daycare here up here, that Kelly was one of her little students up here, but I think it was early Head Start or something like that. And she always remembers you from back in the day, and so then she sees all the things that you're doing right now, and she like feels real proud for you. I remember when she was just a baby and stuff like that. So definitely becoming an icon around here.
Thank you.
Okay, graduation happened, and now you're back home, and now you're doing your own thing now. How about telling the people what you're up to now, what kind of things you're doing?
Well, I'm really, really busy, but I love to say busy. So currently, right now, I'm wrapping up my last year in graduate school, which I'm obtaining my master's in mental health counseling from Doane University in Lincoln.
Okay.
So I commute every week to Lincoln for supervision and class and whatnot. And then I work at Morningstar as an intern and case manager full time, which is really, really fun. And then I'm a varsity girls assistant basketball coach at Walt Hill High School, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I'm an adjunct professor at Nebraska Indian Community College. Going blank.
Yeah, you got it.
And then I'm a secretary for Nebraska Tribes Addressing Violence Coalition, and I sit on the Omaha Nation Post Command.
Hey,
busy
woman, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I got to listen to your speech for the award ceremony down in Walt Hill. I don't know if you saw me up in the crowd, but I got to hear your speech when you talked to the girls about your experience coaching them this past year. And I think a lot of those girls, they're looking up to you. And a lot of them are looking up to you. Like, I know that Coach Stansbury, I believe her name is. I know that she's been there for a few years and stuff, and she has a lot of, she gained a good relationship with all those girls. That's what it seems like from the crowd, But then to add you onto staff, having the experience that you have, I mean, these girls not only now looking up to their coaching staff, they might, actually start listening,
Yeah.
And one thing that I'll definitely try to share with you about the high school level coaching is that the high school coaching staff and the high school team can be really good anywhere, but you got to have good pee-wee and little leagues in that community. You have to. And so if you're not seeing those girls teams down in Walt Hill happening, you need to somehow make them happen. And that's just from experience, and I'm not trying to act any better than anybody else, but that's what I see, that in these communities they need that development. We're not going to get lucky like the cities and just people move to the cities for new jobs and all of a sudden you get a ball player out of them.
Diamond.
We got to get what we can get, and then it's kind of up to us as older coaches, experienced coaches, to try to get that happening. And then just for an example, Winnebago right now has girls and boys basketball all levels, from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade, and it's by programs. And myself, I run the Warpath basketball program, which this year we're picking up a 4th grade division. So there's 5 teams now that we're doing, and we need coaches for all those things, and we want to make sure that we don't skip any grade because you probably know too, and you've seen it probably when you were in high school too, that there's always a gap sometimes where you got, man, this whole class is real good, and this class is kind of good, but man, those next two classes, they're not that good. You know, so then when you guys graduate out, then what does that leave us? That leaves us decent and not that good. And, you know, so that's the gaps we're trying to fill. So I just encourage you and also encourage other coaches down in Wall Hill to fill those gaps.
Especially coaching girls. I mean, that age and that attitudes that come with that age, and I know everything, I know this, and then a lot of them, they just get, you know, they can be fiery and stuff where you know, that's why I couldn't coach. That's why I give praise to Quince a lot, you know, because he coaches and you get all these kids at that age and that mindset where they know everything. And if they're not my kids and I can't scold them the way I want, you know, then I won't do it. You know, so that's just like work.
That's right.
With work, I can, you know, I get paid to get after them if they need to get after them. You know, I can be that choka daddy role over here at work if I need to, you know, but when it's come to coaching, I can't do it. I can sit and holler from the crowd with the best of them, and I can see stuff that's happening that Quince would see or some of the coaches could see. You know, I could see that stuff happening, but, you know, that's just from being an old vet. But I just can't do it. That's why I give praise to coaches in general. So.
Yeah, so I do think that I see a little bit of light down in Wall Hill. You know, maybe some of those girls that are coming up from junior high, I think, man, you know, I got a chance at starting next year, but I got to work, you know, or something like that. Because you're going to need some fire in junior high. You need some fire in junior high, so when they get to high school, that they wanna, I want to start. And then
we refed a couple games. Junior high girls game there. You were out that day, and I think it was me and what's the guy's name?
Dusty.
Dusty, yeah, me and Dusty did them. And usually you ref them girls. It's either with that age, junior high, 7th grade. It's either you call a slap, you call a jump ball, you call a travel. That's it. I mean, that's pretty much it. But then I remember Walt Hill and Bagel playing against each other in the 8th grade team. They were both going at each other, and it was good. And I both were like, hey, man, he's kind of impressive. So it looked like we have to keep an eye on the Walt Hill girls next year. So just got to stay on them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. We went all the way down the road, man, and you know, maybe can tell the listeners we're about ready to be at the end of the program, but you can tell the listeners, you know, what's next for Kelly Warrior. What's in your near future?
Well, I hope to finish strong at Walt Hill with our girls team. You know, I really appreciate you guys sharing that perspective and whatnot. And that's how it is, you know, I came in super headstrong, like with a winner's Mamba mentality. That's what I tell my girls, and also very, very militant. So just coming in really, really headstrong, but also recognizing that the community, the school, the people, the culture, it's not really hyper-centered around girls basketball. So it's about coming in there and meeting them where they're at, but also changing that around and making people like put respect on our girls' names. And so it's definitely challenging, but that's what I love. It's definitely a good challenge. But what's next in store for me is I'm applying for PhD programs right now. So I'm hoping to it's bittersweet, hoping to relocate soon and become second gen Dr. Warrior.
Nice. That'd be great. It sounds from Doan?
No, I've applied to 5 different schools.
Oh, okay.
So kind of mixing it up a little bit.
Whoever's the luckiest one.
Yep.
Hey, when you get down to Lincoln for class, do you hit your mom and dad up for lunch at least? Dinner at least?
Man, them guys, they be too busy for me.
Trav, put that golf club down. You're not that good. Take your daughter out to eat. What's wrong with you?
For real. Get my nails done, too.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Get my oil changed, too.
Oh, there you go. Come on, Trav. Open that wallet up. Daughter's doing big things.
Yeah, help baby girl out, man. Well, hey, you know, I know that I was telling you one time when we were visiting earlier that, you know, I like to use the sports talk show for recruitment. You know, I like to recruit for coaches, recruit players for, you know, help you recruit for Whirling Thunder. You know, all these things, try to use it as recruitment, because I don't know how many ears hear this, you know, and then, but if there's at least a few out there that need to hear it, then they're hearing it. You know, it's an opportunity for them to listen. So Is there anything that you want to like close up with on this interview? Maybe some I don't know, personal stuff or anything?
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to touch base on just a few things.
All right.
For kids out there who are struggling as a senior going into that next chapter in your life, like, it's okay to feel scared and confused, and it's tough because that's the biggest choice that you're making in your life is what are you going to do next, who you're going to become, and just don't let anything hold you back, because I went through ups and downs while I was at high school. Like, a lot of people don't know that I was academically suspended. Like, I made poor choices. I didn't do the best, but I chose to fight those barriers. I chose to make up for my mistakes, and now, you know, I have a banner with my name on it. I have trophies down there that I contributed to, and that's going to be there forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to make mistakes, but it's about how you move forward and what are you going to do. And it's okay if you're not academically strong, because I wasn't in high school, I wasn't in undergrad, but as a graduate student, I've been able to carry a 4.0.
Nice.
And
Perfect.
it's okay. It's okay to face those struggles, but you just have to push yourself and move forward. And I think what's carried me throughout my success is just following my heart, because I had some people, my papa, Ivan Christ for Ribs, whenever I joined the service, he was like, why would you do that? Why would you serve with white people?
Yeah.
You know, we don't have a good relationship with the government, whatever. But little did I know that decision that I made at 18 came with so much honor and respect, and also carrying on the legacy that Native people have the highest serving per capita.
Yeah.
Like, I got to contribute to that, but I followed my heart in that. And so that's my biggest message to the youth, is just follow your heart and believe in yourself. You're gonna go through significant life struggles. Life is gonna humble you in so many different ways, but just keep moving forward, because your success is gonna have a forever impact on the others around you, but also yourself.
Perfect.
Nice, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here on the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. Kelly, we're going to say thank you to you for coming in, sharing all that stuff with us, you know. And like I was saying before, that I knew bits and pieces of that stuff, you know. A lot of things that were on Facebook, I can kind of follow a lot of people's lives, you know. But all that stuff that was in between, man, I really wanted to know that stuff, you know, and now I do.
Yep.
And then also you got to share it with the rest of the Winnebago people and anybody that's out there listening on 100.9 FM KWTN or the Big Voice YouTube page or the Facebook page, you know. We've got a lot of listeners. And I was saying that I read one time on one of these the Facebook ones that we had 994 followers on that one episode. So
Wow.
so there are people out there listening, you know. And so then especially for the young ones, the athletes, the student athletes out there that actually take time to listen to these shows, you know, these podcasts. You know, the reason why we asked these individuals to be up here is for inspiration, and maybe something that one of these former Winnebago athletes say might click in your head, and maybe that might be the thing you need to hear, you know.
Yep.
And that's all we're trying to do here, you know. We're not trying to say anybody's better than anybody. We're just trying to help pave the way for a better life for our kids, and then if they want to go through sports, you know, this is what we talk about here. So once again, thank you, Kelly Warrior. Buff.
We got one thing I needed to add last week, and now we didn't do our athlete of the weeks past 2 weeks. Now we can try to do something like that, or are we gonna save them?
Athlete of the week.
We got time.
You got time. If you already had one picked out, you got one picked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For this for right now, for this week or
Yeah,
last week?
for this week.
I just want to go with that whole 12U under that team. That really, I mean, I'm gonna go back and watch that game, because just that already kind of making me hands sweat and everything like that. So that whole team right there that they got pulled up.
Amazing.
Like I said, I don't know some of them guys, but like I said, Granson right here, you guys gotta keep an eye on him. Watch this kid grow up. He's gonna be something else.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is that your?
I'm gonna do that whole team right there.
The whole team.
Yep.
The whole team. All right.
They can fight over that medal.
Garen's got to go get about 13 of those medals.
They can get one medal. And we'll give it to Coach for holding it down. So.
Well, hey, mine's gonna be easy this week because she's right here. I'm gonna give mine to Kelly Warrior. That's the perfect time to give out my award right here, right after that interview. So, Kelly Warrior is my athlete of the week.
All right, perfect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for episode 30. We've been doing this for 30 weeks. You know, no, 31 because we had to miss 1 week because of it. I don't know if it was raining or snowing or whatever it was.
You were down in Florida or something.
Oh yeah, I might have been. Oh yeah, I didn't want to go to Florida for vacation for 11 days at the beach. Anyway, but yeah, 30 episodes, guys. You know, we're coming up on our little over half a year now. So maybe I think in August we'll be coming up on our last one, and then we'll go into season 2. So thanks for listening. You're listening to 100.9 FM KWTN, the Big Voice Radio. This is the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. Peace. See you next week.
Yes.